Hi, welcome to Procedural Dating. I'm assuming you have an appointment with us today? You do? Alright, well, I'm gonna need your name so that I can check it in the logs and make sure your name is here. So, and you were here for the 9 o'clock? Yes, I can see your information right here. Alright, that's great. Looks like you're right on time, which is awesome. I absolutely love clients who are punctual, and it looks really good that you are. I just wanted to make sure that you're still comfortable with going ahead and going through the procedure. It's a simple procedure. It's nothing like physical or anything like that. We'll just be going through the terms of procedural dating. You're still okay with that? Alright, that's great. Well, my office is a little musty, so I think I'm gonna light a candle before we start talking about everything. I'll leave that right there. Okay, well, before we begin, I want to explain to you what procedural dating is. Basically, our company feels that in this day and age, it's practically impossible to go out and just meet someone casually and have something start, like a relationship, exclusive or non-exclusive, open. So we have decided to start a thing where our clients are given a kit. It'll be in a nice binder, which I'll show to you soon. Actually, I'll show you a sample right now, but we won't cover this for a little while. Basically, this is the kit. It comes in a nice binder and has everything you need. Basically, in order to know what you're getting into when you are thinking about starting a relationship with someone, there are forms that both of you fill out, and it just, shows what both of you are expecting, so that further on down the line, nobody is upset because their expectations weren't known, weren't filled, anything like that. So it just makes things a lot easier, and we found that our clients are a lot more successful at having happy, meaningful, and longer relationships than those who just do things like go out to bars or to hangouts and meet random people without any commitment or anything like that. So that's basically the premise of our company. So I need a little bit of information from you before we can start this, because we like to keep track of how many kits that we've given out. So It helps with our statistics business-wise, and it helps, you know, and we just need some of your contact information so we can get in touch with you later on. Not for any fees or anything like that, just for a survey to see how you're doing, see how successful that you've been in the program. So first, I'm going to need your name. And how do you spell that? Could you spell that one more time for me? Okay, thank you. And next, I'm going to need your permanent address. Was that an 8 you said? Hollylock Drive. That's a pretty name for a street. And if I could get the city that you live in and your state. I'm not going to assume that you're not from out of state. We don't have very many offices. Okay. And your zip code, please. Now, is this an apartment, townhouse, or is it a house? Alright, I'm going to need your apartment number then. Okay, thank you. And so then, of course, that was silly of me. I don't know why I was about to ask that. I just have to mark your gender. Now, this isn't going to, we do age groups so that I don't actually have to ask what age you are if you're uncomfortable with that. Sorry about that. I was filling out a little bit more information. So I basically just need to know if you're between the ages of 18 to 25, 26 to 35, 36 to 40, 41 to 45, 46 to 50, or if you're 51 or above. Okay, that's okay. Thank you. And were you recommended to our services by anyone? Did a friend or family member tell you about us, or did you hear about us through a commercial on television, or perhaps on the internet? You heard about us through a friend? Okay. We like to know that sort of thing because it means that our advertisements are working, which is great because I don't know if you know, but advertising is a little bit expensive, especially for a small company starting out just like ourselves. Alright, so that's all the information that I'll need for right now. This will be put into our systems later on so that I almost forgot, actually. How silly of me. Could I get your email address, please? And could you say the web domain again? Okay, thanks. Alright, sorry about that. But that'll go into our systems so that if you ever have to come back, or if you need another kit or refills for your kit, we can just pop those right off to you. Or if we have any special offers, things like that, we can send that in the mail or email to you. And later on, after this session, we'll send out an automatic email to you with a survey asking how your service was today. So we'd really appreciate it if you would fill that out then. I'll remind you again at the end, don't worry about it. Okay, so that's all the information I need for right now on that. So I'm gonna go through the kit with you. So this is your kit. It's the Procedural Dating Kit. It's a nice sturdy binder, and it has all the information that you need inside, which I'll go through that with you right now. Okay, so on the inside front cover, it has a bit of information. It has a brief history of dating in the Western world. So I'm just going to read that out to you. Just sit back and relax through the process. It's part of my training too. I had to do this. In the survey it'll ask you if I went through this. So it starts out with the dawn of man. Modern humans have been coupling for all their 100,000 to 150,000 years on Earth, but the early hunter-gatherers didn't confuse their economic and mating partnerships with love. They'd never even heard of love. And it's a little humorous. The CEO of our company is somewhat quirky. And then it goes to the ancient Greeks. Our predecessors in antiquity had the good sense to view love as true madness and insufferable punishment inflicted by the gods. And then after Christ, the early Christian church, on high alert to quash anything with potential for fun, decreed that even passion between spouses was sinful. And then the 12th century, troubadours, traveling storytellers in southern France, set hearts aflutter with their oral harlequin romances, possibly influenced by 11th century Arabic poetry. The troubadours sang of passionate, unattainable love, generally between a knight and a married woman. For example, Sir Lancelot and Queen Guinevere. Sadly, for the Middle Ages, love was defined by its impossibility, an unconsummated yearning that spiritually ennobled the lovers, and for the first time, posited the woman as worthy of respect and admiration. According to mythologist Joseph Campbell, what happened to the 12th and 13th centuries was one of the most important mutations of human feeling and spiritual consciousness. A new way of experiencing love came to expression. And then the section that says, a very long time. It would be centuries before people attempted to combine marriage or even relationships and love. Instead, romantic love would be viewed as impossible and disruptive. Until the late 18th century, almost all marriages were arranged, often by parents or community, for reasons such as kinship, ties, wealth consolidation, religion, political alliances, and to produce offspring to help with the workload. Marriage was a business decision. And then the 18th century, with the Industrial Revolution, the rise of individualism, the growth of cities, and other historic developments, the bizarre idea that love might be a good enough reason to get hitched began to take hold. Like I said, he's charismatic, our CEO. In the 19th century, Men skipped off to the factories, and women tended the hearth, too pure for public consumption. Male and female social spheres diverged sharply. Until the 1800s, there had been little need for formal social practices. Marriages were arranged, and before the rise of the city, young people knew everybody else in their age group. To get the sexes together, the Victorians concocted courtship. A formal introduction was required to initiate the acquaintance, after which the young woman's mother asked the man to call on her daughter. All socializing was conducted in the home, with marital intent and within earshot of parents or other chaperones. And then the turn of the 20th century, lacking the fancy parlors in which to entertain gentlemen callers, and now with newly exploded cities as their playgrounds, working-class youth began to court in public, giving rise to the term going out. As ever, the wealthy followed suit, drawn to something as déclassé yet exciting. Away from tea and watchful parental eyes, the rigid Victorian etiquette began to crumble. And then the 1920s, the roaring social and sexual revolt did away with courtship in favor of actual fun, and instead birthed dating, distinguished from courtship by its lack of marriage imperative. Dating was so enjoyable that the actual word first appeared in written English in 1923. The Depression and World War II would kill the mood, but the word remained. In the 1950s, in the post-war exuberance of domesticity, the new teenage culture created a host of rituals and rules around dating: class rings, boyfriend sweaters, going steady, the princess phone, sock hops, the word dreamy, reliable structures for romantic socializing. Young people now had multiple relationships before marriage, with romance enjoyed for its own sake and for the sake of popularity among one's peers. How we got here. The upheavals of the 1960s and 1970s radically altered gender roles and discarded rules of etiquette. The 1980s and 1990s took to hooking up, but sexual freedom came at the expense of mutually understood structure and process, leaving confusion, disappointment, and miscommunication in its wake. Living single. Today, singles find themselves in an unprecedented and oft-lamented period of abundance. We marry much later and by choice. With marriage by choice becomes dissolution by choice. Almost half of marriages end in divorce, making for a de facto system of serial monogamy. Global takeover. Not to mention, there are just so many of us. According to the 2000 United States Census, there are 73,513,241 singles between the ages of 18 and 64. That's almost 1 out of 3 adults. Since 1970, the number of never married individuals between 25 and 44 years old has doubled and tripled, with a life expectancy that has increased by 30 years since 1900. Many more people will find themselves single at some point or another. Those numbers are kind of scary, aren't they? Yep. And we're at a digital age now, so not a lot of people have incentive to go outside much and do the actual, hooking up sort of thing. Welcome to the future. All these singles want to meet, and computers stepped up to fill the need. The first online listing of personals, SOS singles, appeared in 1986, and online dating services began launching around 1995. Overall, the global online dating industry reaped over $500 million in 2004, a sum that is expected to double every year for the next 5 or so years. In the United States, some 28% of unmarried people have browsed online dating services. I'm sure you have too, but dating services can be just as confusing as dating in real life, because it's just the sheer amount of people and how far away they are. It can be quite daunting. Chaos reigns. Despite the increase in potential dates and ways to meet, no universally accepted etiquette has evolved beyond the awkward hookup. She or he may or may not call you. Those seeking only to hook up or keep it casual disappoint those who are looking for love. Each man and woman must make it up along the way, all too frequently operating on entirely different sets of assumptions. Compounded by a lack of frank communication, the result is repeat mistakes and late-breaking heartache. Until the dating kit. While structure has disappeared from romantic pursuit, it has proliferated in the public sphere. We have PDAs and spell check, but we don't pace or track our love lives. We have cell phones and email, but our rejection communication skills don't extend beyond not calling or not writing back. We get ticketed for jaywalking, but no one will tell us we've got bad breath. We get resumes from our employees, but know little about a date's previous love life. There's a contract and lawsuit for everything from marriage on up, but dating flies by the seat of the verbal and even unspoken, or worse, delusional, agreement. Date blindly no more, because the administrative revolution in romance is here. Whether you want hookups, open-ended fun, or a ring on your finger, with procedural dating you will always be on the same page. And that is our goal at procedural dating. Okay, so on the back cover it says, to learn how to use our procedural dating kit, by all means peruse the inside back cover. So we're going to flip to that right now. Okay, so how to be a procedural dater. Congratulations on becoming a procedural dater. Learning the system couldn't be easier, and in no time you'll be chronicling your dating progress like a pro. While the adjacent flowchart is a handy illustration of how the procedural dating kit works, the individual elements do not need to be used in order. For example, if you're not looking for a serious relationship and want to go from notification of attraction straight to sexual release, I'm sure you don't want that though. By all means, go ahead. Best of luck to you in attaining your procedural dating goals. Okay, so it has a flowchart of basically how to proceed with all the forms in here, and we'll go through and we'll fill them out together, one of each, so you know how everything goes, so you can do it on your own when you're in this situation where you want to actually use it. But first, I'll explain what a lot of these things are, because it has this here. And of course, if you ever forget or have questions, you can go back to this or contact me. There's the notification of attraction. When you see someone you find attractive, let them know. Fill out the reverse side of the card, then give it to the object of your fancy, or have a friend deliver it. Don't be scared. At the very least, the lucky person will be flattered, and you won't regret not having done anything at all. And then there's the exchange form for contact information. Whether you request someone's phone number or vice versa, spell out your intentions here, then keep the original and give away the carbon copy. And yes, it does have carbon copies in here, which is quite useful. Then the dating dossier. The dating dossier booklet is your own private dating journal with a form for each individual. Keep track of dates to spot relationship patterns and note progress. That can also be quite useful, you know, if you're tracking someone's behavior while dating and things like that, and you notice them acting a little different, sort of thing. You have proof in writing of that change in behavior, so you can talk to them about it and maybe fix the problem instead of having one of those pointless arguments where the other person argues that you have no proof. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure everyone has had one of those before. I know I have, at least. Okay, so then there's the relationship resume. Before you go down the emotional entanglement road, learn the broad strokes of someone's personal history. Reciprocate by filling one out yourself. Basically, a relationship resume is like an actual resume, except it has your dating experience, things like that. Because I know, for example, personally, I don't like to date men who have never dated anyone before, or have only dated, say, 1 or 2 people before me. Personal preference, it means they lack experience, basically, and usually I find out afterwards, because I have dated a few like that, that the things that they've said about their exes, you know, the whole woe is me story, the things they've said about their exes are actually things that they do themselves, and they were projecting onto their past relationship partner, and so it's kind of a problem. And so with a relationship resume, you can spot things like that, and if they're very boastful, you can see right away and decide whether or not to date them based on that. And then there's date feedback. After a date, fill out this postcard to indicate continued interest or to offer constructive criticism. In all honesty, wouldn't you want to know? It's true, while it might hurt a little bit for the other person to receive some constructive criticism, at the same time, if I know that if I have a date and I think it's pretty great, I think we had a good time, and then I don't get a call back, or they text back and they say they're not really interested in me or having another date, I always wonder why. Like, if I thought we had such a great time, why didn't you? And getting this, even though it might kind of hurt a little bit, it can help you correct some of the mistakes that you might have made, or help you look at your behavior and think, oh, they're right, I really did do that, and I should probably not do that. That's probably not very attractive. And then there's the sexual release form, which in this day of sexual harassment and no means no, it's important to come to certain agreements before certain things, you know. Outline preferences, predilections, and expectations. Finally, grant permission to access. So basically, what this is, I won't be going over this with you because I feel this is kind of personal and private and should only be shared with, sorry, the mascot is dancing over there. Anyway, I believe that this form is personal and private and should only be shared with someone who you're considering dating, even if you're not considering doing anything other than holding hands. It's still none of my business, so we won't be filling that out today. And it's pretty self-explanatory anyway if you look at it. And then there's the notification of non-exclusivity. Before a relationship gets serious, it can be difficult to let someone know that you're still playing the field. Spell out what you're up to and decide upon ground rules, if any. While the topic may be awkward, it's always better to get it out into the open. Which is true. This lets somebody know, somebody that you're interested in, know that, like, every single thing, basically, that you're looking for, and it's a way to be very honest with them and to not nurture false expectations, because you don't want to let them down later on if they have expectations of you that you can't fulfill or never plan to fill. Our mascot is very, very active over there. Okay, so and then there's the exclusivity agreement. For so many, exclusivity is the holy grail of dating, that glorious moment when a couple decides to explore a relationship in greater depth. This is the place to negotiate specifics and declare mutual affection. So basically, I find actually that this is a problem with modern relationships. There's not really a definition to exclusivity. Like, different people have different definitions, and they, for some reason, a lot of these people believe that most people in the world hold the same views as them. I know there are some girls who don't think it's cheating if they perhaps go out on a date or kiss another person of the same sex as them while they're dating someone of the opposite sex. They don't feel that's cheating, but some people do believe that's cheating, so it all depends on the person, and so it's very convenient to have a contract set out, and it gives you guidelines to basically stick to. General guidelines, of course. Alright, so let's get to this. If you'll excuse me for just 1 second. Alright, I hope you'll forgive my attire. It's casual day at work today. Okay, so first off is the Procedural Dater ID card, which you'll carry in your wallet, obviously. It's wallet sized. It has your membership number on it, so you can use this to keep track of your paperwork. Like, if you wanted to, for instance, you could send us all of your paperwork, and we could keep digital copies for you and track your progress and things like that, and give you feedback. We do have employees who are tasked with doing that. And then whenever you come by the facility, you can just swipe it, and it'll give you a statistical summary of how you're doing, and also you can use it for refills and things like that. So it has your membership number. There's a glare. It has your membership number and your class. And on the back it says, I agree to be nice to all dates initiated with this card, and in order to make this valid, you'll sign here, sort of like a credit card, sign here, and it's not valid unless you sign it, and then you put the month and year that you became a member, and it says, I am a card-carrying procedural dater. I believe in clear communication, planned relationship growth, and fill in the blank forms. And it has our customer service number on the bottom, and our website for reference in case you ever forget that. But basically, you can initiate your dates with this. You just hand this over, and a lot more people than you would think actually know what this is. So, and we found that our clients are more likely to get dates when using this card than when they don't. We have various research studies that go out because of the type of company we are. Anyway, so I'm just going to hand that over to you, and then we'll get started. Now, first, if I can open this. Sorry, that was kind of loud. We have your dating dossier. which, as I said, well, I explained it earlier, basically. It says, enjoying your dating dossier. The dating dossier is a tracking system for dating. The interior log pages allow you to describe, chronicle, and rate not only first dates, but also subsequent relationship landmarks. Keeping track of your dates permits you to assess your own progress, as well as identify patterns of behavior and/or life choices. With the log, you can easily refresh yourself on hilarious details from a disastrous date. More succinct than a journal, fill-in-the-blank format affords side-by-side comparisons of the same criteria, and when you do make a love match, you'll have enthusiastically scribbled snapshots of the earliest moments and impressions of your relationship, which is always nice. Especially if you're a forgetful person and your partner really finds those sorts of things meaningful, then you can definitely use this. That would definitely be a useful tool. The log pages are organized by individual person. The right-hand page, A, accommodates vital statistics as well as a detailed evaluation of the first date. The left-hand page, B, provides a place to organize internet research as well as record subsequent dates and/or milestones. Finally, check off the distribution of your procedural dating documents in the lower grid, as in your documents pertaining to this person, if you filled them out or not. When you start a new log page, transcribe the person's name and file number to the introductory table of dates, thereby creating an easy access index to candidates past and present. All the dating wisdom you gain can be recorded in the concluding notes section. Okay, so basically, here it is, the table of dates, and basically, this is how you file. You put their name in, and it tells you which page they're on, and it has a little box here where you can check where it says active, inactive, or exclusive, and that'll help you keep track. And there's room in this booklet for about 20 people, so when you fill that up, just be sure to let us know, and we'll definitely send you a new one. Okay, so I'm going to fill one of these out with you. This is, of course, my own the copy that I'll be keeping from the store. You'll get a brand new one, of course, because obviously we aren't on a first date. So, let's start working on this. So basically, in the table of dates, you put my name, like so, and we're just going to say that I'm active at this moment in time. Let's put a motorcycle passing by. So we go to page 5 where it says my file will be, which is the dating dossier file number 1, and there's another box which says active or inactive, so we'll check active again, and let me just show you what this looks like. It's a lot of information, that's why I'm doing it with you. There's a little spot right here for a photo, saying whether or not you get one. They might give you a little one for this folder, if they know that you're a procedural dater, so that might not be a problem there. So it has a little profile section where you would fill out my name once more, and then you would say, tell my phone number, I just put the number of the company, obviously, with my extension. And you can either check if it's a cell phone number, a home number, a work number, or other. This is my work number. And then how we met. We met at the company. And the date today is December 2012. Notable characteristic. We'll just say my glasses. And then you put your interest level from 1 to 5, 1 being bad and 5 being rad. And then it has a little checkbox for your prediction, and your predictions are either the one, new friend, just for fun, or and then you don't know either way. You're just waiting to see how it goes. So I'm just going to say new friend for me. And then it has stats, a little stats section where you put my age and my profession and my marital status. The marital status has 4 little boxes that you can check: single, divorced, separated, or misrepresented. I am single by terms of the lawful marital definitions. And then it has hair color and a checkbox, so you can either say brown, blonde, black, auburn, gray, or no hair. I actually have dirty blonde hair, so. And then eyes: blue, brown, green, hazel, glasses, shifty, as in like shifty eyes, yeah, our CEO, he's a trip, so I have blue eyes and glasses. And the star sign, I'm pretty sure you know what a zodiac is. I'm a Libra. And then it has a section for your first date, and you fill out the date, which is of course today's date basically, and the location, company, office. This would be a really depressing date, I'm not gonna lie. Your transportation, were you the transportation or was someone else the transportation? So you were the transportation. And was it initiated by me, not me, blind date, or mutual? It was initiated by you because you wanted to become a procedural dater. And the method arranged was over the phone, and it was planned by mutual. And gifts, I would say that my gift to you for our first date is unsolicited advice. I'm sure some of it is too much information for you, or you don't really care about. Activities, going through this booklet. Who paid? Technically, you're the one who paid. So, looks, and I'm not gonna read all these. Well, actually, you can either say smokin', cute, good enough, nice personality, blah, or oy vey, but I'm just gonna be awesome and say cute. Personality, fun, serious, compatible, incompatible, scintillating, boring. I'm gonna say I'm being kind of serious right now. My humor, hilarious, dry, cute, good audience, annoying, none. Kind of dry. I would say have a dry humor. Sorry, this seems weird filling out my own, kind of, but it's just, you know, to make sure you know how it's done. And then top 3 conversation topics. The kit, company information, mascot. I'll just tell you about the mascot now, since he's over there in his little cage kind of bothering me and making all that noise. Our mascot is a bearded dragon named Crazy Swayze. What he does basically is dance, eat, sleep, and watch a lot of Mythbusters. That has to be one of his favorite shows. And usually I have that TV on right there, playing Mythbusters when we don't have any clients in the room. And right now he's kind of staring at it wistfully, wishing that I had it on, but I'm not going to turn it on while I have you in here. That's just rude, and you're a paying client. Well, he costs us money, so he's going to have to wait for that. So those are the 3 conversation topics. And then chemistry, electric, faint hum, too soon to tell, non-existent, negative, just friends. I'll just say just friends. And then it asks the cutest thing that I did. I can't really think of any cute thing that I would have done. Maybe push up my glasses. And most annoying thing? Probably bringing my lizard to the date. I'm pretty sure I would kind of find that really annoying. And most memorable moment? Signing your dating card. Okay, and for the end of date, you can check what end, next date set, promise to call, mutual silence, relief, or fatigue. I'll say promise to call because I will call you and check up, as well as sending out that survey. I am taking this a little too seriously, I think. And then the next date, desired, not desired, maybe, only if initiated. That will be the one. And then it has a little section for notes, and you can do an overall rating of the date from 1 to 5, 1 being worst, 5 being best. And on the other side of the page, it has a couple of sections, such as internet investigation and search terms for Google, Yahoo, and other, your results quantity from Google, Yahoo, and other, your achievements, embarrassments, things that you find on the person, odd facts, and your conclusions. Can range from interesting, unknown, notorious, to uh-oh. And then it has a little section that says contact. Contact made by me, her/him, not made, not returned. Yes. So that would be made by you. And it says date of contact, and you contacted me last week on Monday. Time lapse, too long, just right, too quick, or stalker. Attendant stress for the date, for the contact. High alert, crippling, intermittent, mild, piece of cake, or none. Did you have any stress? contacting us. Some people say that they find it embarrassing at first. You had mild stress. Okay. And then, date feedback card sent. You don't really know how to do that just yet, so say no. And next step, another date. Wait and see. Breakfast. Never again. And say wait and see. And then it has a little section for subsequent dates, like date number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And then under each of those, you can say the date of it, the activity, highlight, and your rating from 1 to 5. And then it has a section for the first move, made by me or you. It has the date number that you make the first move on, and that could range anywhere from holding hands to a first kiss. This says location, and then it has an extent, which includes intense gazing, neck rub, hand holding, arm on shoulder, isolated kisses, brief makeout, all-out necking, tender caresses, heavy petting, confidential, less than desired, or more than desired. And then the quality of the first move: amazing, quite good, promising, not so good. Aftermath: intimate, flirty, exciting, or awkward. And conclusion: more, no more. And then it has a little date checklist for if you've sent out the things, if you filled out these things with this person, and you're going to be filling out all of these things, and it has the date for when you filled it out, basically. And has a conclusion which says good riddance, ongoing, happily ever after, or file close. So that's the dating dossier. If you give me 1 second, I'm going to put that to the side. Alright, so now we're on to the notification of attraction. And a notification of attraction, it looks like one of these. It comes in 4, and that's the back there. And it's been perforated, so you can rip one out as needed. So you just fold it. Now that you have one of these, basically, it says, notification of attraction. I find you attractive. In order to eliminate miscommunication and or duplicity, I've decided to let you know with this card. And there's an asterisk at the end. It says in fine print, this notification of attraction is solely an indication of initial interest and in no way guarantees further social engagement, romantic, sexual, or otherwise. Any subsequent interaction between the two parties will be of mutually determined content, pace, and duration, and may freely and without penalty be terminated by either party. Which is, I think, quite a nice little agreement there. And it says on the back, it has a little section, I'm drawn to you because of your smile, looks, energy, je ne sais quoi, and then it has a little line where you can fill in your own. If it were up to me, you and I would converse for a while, exchange numbers, hang out sometime, go home together, and there's another little blank line there. Please respond however you like or indicate your reaction in one of the following ways. If you lack interest, shake your head. If you are unavailable, shrug your shoulders. If you desire further contact, say yes please. And at the bottom it says, any recipient of this card should be flattered at the very least. Like I said, our CEO, he's one of a kind. So I'll just hand that over to you so you can look at that. And that was easy. So we're gonna move on really quickly to the exchange form contact information, which looks like this and has a carbon copy. So basically what you do is fill out the date, location, and the contact information of party A and party B. Basically, party A can be you if you're filling it out and handing it to someone, or if you're handing it to someone to fill out, they can be party A. It doesn't matter which way actually. So I'll just put my name down on this and my office number. And my email. And if you have a website, it has a section for that. And then notes, as in like, don't call me after this time, or just text this number, stuff like that. So and then of course you in this case would be party B, so you would put your information down. And that's your cell phone number? Okay. And your email. Okay, and your email, and you don't have a website? Well, not that you want to provide. And then underneath each little section it says no information provided, A will call B, or no information provided, B will call A. And then on the side here it has terms and conditions. So designated contactor, in this case you are the designated contactor. The mode of contact would be either by phone or email, doesn't matter, obviously in this situation. Time of contact could be tomorrow, 1 week, 3 days, other, we'll say other, say when necessary, and of course I'll give you all these as samples so you can keep them and look over them as an example when you're trying to do your own for the first time until you get used to it. And then it has a place for me to sign. And then, of course, place for you to sign right there. Okay. And then at the bottom it says says, "The commitment to contact shall be taken seriously. Under no circumstances shall either party commit to contact without intending to follow through as agreed. By signing, both parties recognize the devastating impact of sitting by the phone and wondering what went wrong, and pledge to execute contact in good faith. Both parties further acknowledge that unforeseeable circumstances, family emergencies, acts of God, can impede agreed-upon contact. Promise not to lie about such occurrences. Losing this form is not considered legitimate justification for contact failure. Drunk dialing does or does not fulfill the requirement of this agreement." I'm going to say does not, because this is a professional agreement, actually. Technically, it's technicality. It's so. As you are party B, you get the carbon copy, which I'll just hand to you, and I can take the actual copy, which I'll put right here. Alright, so let's move on, shall we? So the next part is the relationship resume, which basically, as you know, you fill it out like a regular resume, except it's your relationship resume. So let's fill this out together, your relationship resume, because you have to fill one out at least. And you can make copies of this and just hand it out when they ask to exchange resumes with you. So put your name and the date and your address. And your phone number. And that's your cell phone. And then your email. And so what is your objective through this entire process? Are you out to find true love, develop compatibility, share good times, commitment-free pleasure, or getting your green card? I know, it's kind of funny that that's the section there. So you want to find true love and share good times. What's your availability? Marriage and children, open, non-exclusive, on the rebound, fling, or one night stand. You're available for, you're open? Okay. And then, of course, your age. You already said your age grouping, so we'll put that down. And your birth date. Okay. And your sign. Oh, I always wished I was that sign. I thought it was the coolest in the little picture. And your hometown, because you know you might have a hometown in common. Okay. And your IQ level, if you know it. You don't know it, that's okay. And your academies. Do you have high school? College? Okay, great. Graduate degree, lifelong student, GED, trade school. You have your graduate. That's impressive. And your profession? Are you unemployed or employed? You're employed? Okay, great. That looks so much better. Where do you work? Okay, great. And your marital status? Never married? Okay, I thought so. I thought you were too young. And do you have children? Not yet. Never live with me, live elsewhere. So you're gonna say not yet. Do you have a felony conviction? No? Okay, that's great. That looks a lot better on a resume. Okay, and so this little section is your relationship history. So, the name of your ex. Okay, and the city. Duration. Oh, 2 years. That must have been a very painful breakup. And what was your age at the start of this relationship? Okay, you were 16. Do you remember the start date? Okay. And the end date? Okay. And was it ended by self, the ex, mutual, or a third party? Oh, it was mutual, so that must have, maybe that eased it a little bit. What was the type of relationship? Was it frivolous, serious, engagement, marriage, soul-shaking, stepping stone, friends with benefits, or a total nightmare? Oh, it's a total nightmare. It's probably a good thing we got out of that then. And your current status? Friends, enemies, little to no contact? Little to no contact, I figured. And reasons for breakup? Poor match, fell out of love, different goals, fighting, mutual cruelty, mother issues, children, religion, jealousy, geography, infidelity, dishonesty, no idea, his or her fault. Okay, so you're a poor match, fighting, mutual cruelty, and dishonesty. Lessons learned? Never date a guy named John. I guess that could kind of be good relationship advice, at least for yourself. Okay, and there are a few more sections there, but I'm gonna hand it over to you. I just wanted to fill that first one up for you. Well, sections I meant. There are more name of ex's history there. So there's a backside. So let's go to that. What are your strengths? Emotional strengths, openness, empathy, self-awareness. Empathy, okay. And intellectual, curiosity, diversity, ambition. And domestic, housekeeping, cooking, interior decor. Oh, cooking, that is a good trait. Social, communication, humor, charm. Humor, okay. Sensual, massage, mad skills, lustiness. You're good at massage? That's awesome. Actually, I have an appointment with a masseuse in about a week. I'm sure you don't care about that. Physical, fitness, nutrition, flexibility. Your fitness? Okay. And ownership. Do you own a car? Yeah. Okay. And a home? Do you own your home? No. You're renting. Okay. That's okay. Do you own a business? No. Washer, dryer? Yes. Formal wear? Yes. Do you own a dog? Or a cat? Okay. Or a snake? Oh, okay. And if you could tell me your height, please. And, your weight. You don't look over 115. That's crazy. And your fitness level, you already said, so you'd probably be either high or just enough. So you're highly fit. Do you use holistic or alternative medicine? Okay. Illness? Are you ill frequently? No? Okay, that's great. Do you have a disability? Okay. Have you had a body alteration? Like cosmetic surgery, hair dye, replacement, tattoos, piercings? Okay, you have your ears pierced? And you've dyed your hair before? Do you smoke? Yes, no, quitting, you quit? Okay. Drugs? Never, used to, recreational, frequent, prescription, or addiction? Okay. Alcohol? Never, socially, addiction, recovering? Okay. And are you a vegetarian? Great. So, now for your mental health, are you in therapy? That's okay. Most everyone is these days. Are you in a 12-step program? Okay. Self-help aficionado? That means, do you own a lot of self-help books, things like that? Okay. Oprah? Yeah, it is kind of addicting. Dr. Phil? That is highly addicting. Do you have a mental illness? Okay. What's your relationship with your family? Are you close, distant, estranged, turbulent, mother issues, father issues, sibling issues, secrets and lies, functional or dysfunctional? So you're close but turbulent. Aren't we all? And do you have any of these issues? Workaholism, high stress, fear of intimacy, codependence, narcissism, passive aggression, ADD, OCD, phobias, neurosis, emotion bottling, jealousy, low self-esteem, poor body image, shyness, stage fright? Okay. Okay, that's no problem. No need to feel self-conscious. Now, do you have any affiliations? Religious? Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, atheism, agnostic, other? Okay. And are you practicing? Yes or no? Okay. For politics, are you Democrat, Republican, Independent, or other? And let's fill in the blank. I can fill that in. Okay. your special interests: NRA, NOW, ACLU, NAACP, Sierra Club, sorority, fraternity, or other. Okay. And what's your operating system for your computer? Windows, Macintosh, Linux, or other? Okay. And your hobbies? Do they include sporting events, team sports, yoga, meditation, golf, running, cycling, skating, home decor, gardening, collecting, shopping, art, literature, cinema, crafts, gaming, drinking, hunting, dating, or other? There are 4 spots. I can fill them in. Okay. Okay, thank you. And then references. I'll leave that blank. I'm pretty sure you know how to fill that out. And we should probably not waste your time sitting here while you go through your cell phone to look for contacts and things like that. So, here's your dating resume. You can finish that at a later time. Definitely. Okay, so there's that. So let's go on to the next thing. Oh, I'm letting this get so messy, aren't I? Okay, the next thing is the dating feedback card, which is perforated and e-folded, so you can rip it out and fold it. So let's just do that now. Alright, so the dating feedback card. The mascot is at work again. Sorry about that. Okay, so dear, and then you put their name. As you may know, I am a procedural dater. I seek to bring the clarity of professional tools to the often murky process of contemporary courtship. In this vein, I send you this date feedback card. The date feedback card answers those pesky questions that may linger after a date. Did he or she like me? What kind of impression did I make? Did I do anything stupid? Would she or he care to see me again? The date feedback card can signal interest, or it can provide invaluable information to improve your future dating prospects. Above all, it tells the truth. Whether or not you do anything about the truth is up to you. Sincerely, and then it's a place for you to sign your name. And basically it has a section for hygiene, 1 to 5 rating, manners, location, activities, conversation, sense of humor, chemistry, and overall. And then it has a side for notes, a side where you can write in a few things. And in conclusion, I'd love to see you again. Let's be friends. I know someone you'd like. You're kind of a dud. At least I have a funny story. And then commentary. What a charmer. You seem really nice. I just didn't feel it. Improve your skills. What were you thinking? And the next step, call me. I'll call you. I'll give you his number. Psychotherapy. Or lose my number. So that's that. And you can just fold it up and I'll hand it over to you. Okay. And so now we go to the next part, which is the notification of non-exclusivity, which looks like this. In the interest of full disclosure, this document serves to notify the recipient that she or he is in a non-exclusive relationship. While the notifying party would like to continue dating the recipient, he or she seeks to confirm the relationship is non-exclusive so as to preclude any misunderstanding in the dating of others. Should the recipient disagree with the terms of non-exclusivity, she or he may end the relationship at any time. In the absence of such termination, the recipient agrees to, and it has a place to check, release all claim to exclusivity, adhere to mutually agreed limitations on time spent together, limiting phone calls and visitation as necessary, sanction independent third-party romantic liaisons, refrain from jealousy, retribution, and/or related questioning, cease all discussion of increased commitment and/or exclusivity for the effective period at right, or hook the notifying party up. While interaction between the notifying party and the recipient is indeed circumscribed, the notifying party emphasizes that he or she seeks only to be truthful while continuing to enjoy time with the recipient. Then it has a place for you to sign and the recipient to sign. Sorry, he was getting a little carried away over there. And then it has terms and conditions. Reason, on the rebound, just having fun, commitment issues, period effective, 90 days, 6 months, forever, and then sex, notifying party, sex with others, no sex with others, ongoing disclosure, and sex recipient, same thing, time spent together, weekly, weekends only, as scheduled, contact only when contacted, as necessary or whenever. And that's that form. And then there's the sexual release form, but as I said, we are not going over that together. I apologize. If you have any trouble with that, feel free to contact me, but I'm going to assume that that will be one of the things that you won't want me to stick my nose into. Okay, last and not least, there's the exclusivity agreement, which is front and back. It says, well, it's fairly long. It's a contract, obviously, for exclusivity. Basically what it's saying is that both you and the recipient of this, party A and party B, agree to be exclusive to one another on these terms, and it defines exclusivity in stark terms so that there's no confusion, and it has sections like an exclusivity definition, access, where each party agrees to provide emotional, intellectual, sexual, social, telephonic access to the other party as follows: 3 days per week, 5 days per week, weekends only, all spare time, living together. While it is assumed that the parties desire to spend time together, there may be times when the need for other plans or time alone arises, etc., etc. And then it has a section for communication agreements. and then it has a section for suggested modifications of behavior. So party A issues with party B and suggestions and modifications for that behavior. And party B issues with party A. And then proclamations. The party agrees to publicly refer to one another as boyfriend and or girlfriend. If another mutually agreed mode of address is decided, it shall be recorded here. And then intent, as in like what is the intent of this relationship, is and it shows it for party A and B so you can work. And the intents are described as marriage and children, lifetime togetherness, indefinite status quo or no idea, and has amendment and termination. This relationship can be amended and or terminated at any time for any reason by either party. Such amendment or termination must be documented in writing and signed by the parties hereto. In the event of termination, the party shall keep the friends and comfy sweatshirts in their possession for the relationship, unless an exception is granted thereto. That just makes everything a lot easier, because breakups are hard, and to take that emotional part out of it, I find makes everything a lot easier. And then the section 9, authority. The parties each represent and warrant that they have the authority and right to enter into this agreement and to carry out and perform the terms, covenants, and conditions hereof. Each party attests that he or she is not married, notwithstanding separations, or romantically attached to and or exclusive with anyone else. Failure to respond truthfully will result in termination of the relationship, obviously. And so in witness whereof the parties hereto have executed this agreement as of the day and year first above written, and has places for both of your signatures and the dates, and B, the exclusivity agreement. And so we have successfully covered everything, I think, in this packet. Get ready for a loud noise. That was quite a lot louder than I thought it would be. Anyway, so that's everything, and of course you have all of my information if you find anything necessary. Do you have any questions that you know of? None right now? Okay, that's great. That means I explained everything as I was supposed to, as it's my job to do. So let me get you one of your own kids to take home today. So here you go. I'll just put that on the shelf there for you to take when you leave. I hope that you found everything satisfactory and that I did a great job making sure that everything is explained and that there's no confusion. So thanks so much, and I hope not to see you again soon, because that means that you need more of these things, and I really want you to be successful. So, oh yeah, the door is right over there. Okay, bye-bye now.